All right, Shalom. This is Great Millstone, Louisiana Saints, the New Orleans camp, coming at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, as always, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahasham,
Bahashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Bahasham,
Bahashem,
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. So, as you can see from the title, we're going to go into how you need to think about what you're thinking about. The thoughts that enter your mind, you need to have a guard over them because they're going to lead to your actions. And ultimately, if you're a man of the Lord and you believe that we're in Babylon the Great, you believe that we're the chosen people, your actions need to reflect that, and that starts with your thoughts. So, we're going to get into some precepts. Give me the Proverbs 23:7.
This the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 7. For as he thinketh it in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, said he to thee, but his heart is not with thee.
And as we know in the Hebrew, the word heart is la'ab, which is your mind. That's where Esau gets, frontal lobe, your lobes, your mind is your la'ab. And the scripture says, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. And that's plain, man. Your thoughts manifest in your actions. That's why you have to be extremely careful about what you think about. A lot of people, they're overconsumed with, fringes and this outward appearance of being an Israelite, of course, having the biggest beard, having, armbands, shoulder pads, just having this outward look of being overly righteous. But in their mind is in Babylon the Great. Their mind is in being an African American. Their mind is in being a good husband to a woman that's completely defiled. Their mind is not on the kingdom of heaven. So you have to think about what you're thinking about because your thoughts can get you taken out of the truth. And we've seen it happen in this camp personally. We've seen it happen all over Yasharallah. A lot of men's thoughts are wicked. Now, if your thoughts are wicked, that's going to manifest in physical wickedness. It all begins with your mind. So you can give me the Matthew 12.
And I got a precept for you too.
Yeah, I got one out there too.
Bring out yours first, Brian. You can get yours.
This is Matthew 7 and 18, just to back up what you were saying. If you've got evil thoughts and evil intents and just nothing right in you, it's going to start manifesting on your outward appearance. It's kind of like that saying, you are what you eat. If you take in physically unhealthy and bad stuff for your diet, it's going to manifest on your outward appearance. But this is Matthew 7 and I'll start at 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them.
By their fruits you shall know them, man. You have a lot of people that say that they're men of the Lord. You have a lot of people that say that they have the truth. You have people saying that they care about Israel more than us, or we hate the 2/3, GMS is this and that. But then you see the fruits of their works. You see the fruits of these different philosophies. You see the fruits of Black Jesus. You see the fruits of Yeshaya, Ashar, Yahya, all of these different names, all of these different doctrines. You see the fruits of these things. So anyone can say that what they think about is righteous, but when it's manifested in adultery, malice, deceit, scamming your members, just being a complete demon, that person was thinking wicked thoughts the whole time. And it's evident to us. We can see it. We can see, okay, this person is their heart is in the right place, so to speak. This person is going completely off. And it's time for you, Jakes, to really get your mind right. Literally, you have to get your mind right with the scriptures, man. Conform to the scriptures. You got it, Kaya. You got one?
And if I could just make a quick point at the end of it, it said that wicked trees shall be hewn down. And we're about to start to see a lot of you wicked trees that bring forth wicked fruits getting hewn down. We saw what happened to Rap the News, and we know that Nate's health is not the best it is right now. And hey, 2022 is the year Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai turning up. So we're about to see a lot of you wicked trees who have had wicked seeds in you, bringing forth wicked fruit, getting hewn down and burned in the fire of judgment, whether it be one of the calamities coming on this side or ultimately those nuclear missiles.
Man, fringes don't show forth his righteousness. That which cometh out of his heart do. All right? Because again, it ain't what you wearing that's going to deliver you unto the, it says righteousness delivereth from death. All right. But saying again, you know, you wanna men wanna, you know, show forth their philanthropies, all right, and the outer appearance. But again, all right, that only can go so far. All right, you can be the best looking man or the most handsomest man from the shoulders up, all right, or whatever. That don't necessarily gonna mean, all right, that's according to righteousness, man. All right, that's just nothing but a perk from the Lord. That's a body feature. Just like the fringes, though yet we wear them, the true representation of them is the what? The keeping of the law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's what the remembrance of it for. All right. So why are we making a doctrine or living or custom out of the fringes? Like, it's like, are we serving the Lord, which gave us the law, statutes, and commandments? Or are we serving the fringes, which represents the law, statutes, and commandments? All right. Again, a man mind, okay, show forth what he is, man. Is accustomed to his works. And if your mind is on and shout out to the Zaquam Atazawam out there in Wisconsin, he did a video that says don't make yourself a target. He said, lo and behold, as they was talking about the fringes, you know, that's what's been going on right now. And keep in mind, war is on the brink of a rising. The talks have pretty much ended. All right, and there's been no, you know, it's been, you know, no compromising at all on either side. NATO is not giving in, Russia is not giving in, but they're talking about fringes, man. All right, he said he went to the gym and behold, a brother on the, you know, the treadmill with the fringes on, and what are we doing here, man? The Lord got a sense of humor, but again, like, is Jake thinking about what he thinking about? Is Jake mind on prophecies? All right, because the scriptures speak about in Sirach about how you keep thy mind according to prophecy. All right, on prophecy. You see, but this is Job 34, and I start at 31, the printers in 34. It says, surely it is meet to be said unto God, I have borne chastisement, I will not offend anymore. Here we go. That which I see not, teach thou me. Because a man, the things that we see from the outer appearance of people may see, I think there's a brother talking from ISUPK, I believe it was Elder Gabor that did the video. And listen, I could be wrong. I just forgot what brother did it. All right, I'm gonna just leave it as that. But ISUPK was talking about they got warlike garments on. All right, and every other man in every other camp don't have a warlike garment on. Like, cause they got boots and armbands and just combat. It's like they ready for war. Like, what that mean? We just saw many cowardly men go to war. And you're a coward if you're going to war for the Lord in a physical way, man. This thing is spiritual right now. It's a time to get physical. So really, you showing the enemy you cowardly. All right, a man who is tamed by the Spirit, he just gonna stand bold as a lion, you know. But he not gonna again show himself as some great person. All right, he's just gonna stand and handle his business. Go ahead, you want to say something?
Yeah, the elder makes this point all the time. Yahushua sent us out as sheep amongst wolves, and there's no gangster sheep. A sheep is not a tough guy. It's not a tough animal. And, you know, Jake is coming out of the world, though, with all sorts of insecurities. Jake is messed up in the mind. Jake is trying to prove himself to the world instead of proving himself to the Lord. When really the Lord's proving us, man. We're being tried as silver and gold. And that's a process that requires humility, which Jake don't want no parts of humility. That's like, whoa, that's like taking an L. I don't know about that. You know?
Yeah. It says, that which I see not, teach thou me. If I have done iniquity, I will do no more. Should it be according to thy mind? Question mark. He will recompense it, whether thou refuse or whether thou choose, and not I. Therefore speak what thou knowest. Let men of understanding tell me, and let a wise man hearken unto me. And we have listened unto wise words. We have listened to wise men. All right, and we have understood that. Rather understanding what we have been told and try to maximize that outwardly, or show people The wisdom of, remember, wisdom dwell within. It's hidden almost. All right. It only appears when it's necessary. And even when it's necessary, if you're not wise, you're still not going to be able to receive it. So really, a fool never can see or feel or retain wisdom. Saying he don't have no mind to get it. What's the price of a fool to get wisdom? The hand of a fool, saying he have no mind to get it. You got it, bro.
They get the Matthew 12, Baba Gusha.
God. And I had a quick one to back up Kaya too. This is Matthew 12 and 35. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
So it says, this is Yahushua speaking. It says, a good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. And again, your heart is your mind. So if your mind is set aright, good deeds are going to proceed from that. If your heart is wicked, you could put on a show in front of men, but ultimately it's going to be made manifest that your inward thoughts were always wicked. And I was Baba Gusha, give me Romans 2 and 28 to go with what you were saying, because you have a lot of jakes that are obsessed with this outward appearance of righteousness, but their mind is not set toward the kingdom of heaven. So if your mind isn't right, your actions really are in vain. You're really just putting on a show. And the Most High he's not fooled by that. He's not pleased with that. Yeah, you got it up.
You want the Romans?
Come.
This Romans chapter 2, verse 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh.
Right, and that's going into the circumcision. Back 2,000 years ago, you had Israelites that were so-called keeping the commandments, which at that time our people were going way off, but they were called the circumcision. But this doctrine deals with the circumcision of the mind. It's going to explain in the next verse. Keep going.
It says, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of our power. That's perfect, bro. That's right on time. Everything I said. You got it.
Whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Why? Because the circumcision is here. Yeah. It's not about walking around in fringes. It's about being first of all, the whole point of the fringes is to remind you to put in your mind the law, statutes, and commandments. So if you walking around with fringes on, but you a nigger, that defeats the whole purpose. Like, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But that's Jake, man.
Real quick on Proverbs 7, you got something, Ryan?
Con.
Go ahead.
Just to back up that Romans. And we have examples today with the reincarnated scribes and Pharisees, and Yahushua spoke about it in the past. They go into the markets and get to have the pretense of being called rabbi and master. They have the tinklings on their garments, the phylacteries. They went the whole 9 yards. But inside they were wicked niggas. They were that mentality is do as I say. Just do as I say, but don't do as I do. Well, Salaki, I kind of twisted that up, but they just had that mentality of having that outward appearance that I'm doing everything right and listen to everything I'm saying. They were adding new little laws here and there to the people, but on the back end of things, they were wicked. They were selling. They turned the Lord's house into a den of thieves by selling stuff in there. They were extorting people and being hypocrites. You name it. But this is Matthew 23. I'm gonna start at 25, and this is in red letters. So it's Yahushua speaking. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Some modern day examples being the pocket, which I'm sure you Akim out there know that story. Thou blind Pharisees, cleanse first that which is within the cup in the platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Backing up that Romans, he is a Jew that is a Jew inwardly, that's circumcised in your heart. You're walking the walk on the outside, and you're talking the talk, and your spirit's doing the same. You found the law, statutes, and commandments, and just being a righteous person. you're not just having that outward appearance of righteousness, but on the inside, you're just wicked and a degenerate hypocrite. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whitened sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Yeah, and notice he said, "Woe unto you," which, Yahweh Shai cuss people out. That's something people try to act like is not in the Bible. Yahweh Shai constantly condemned people. He didn't just love everybody. He didn't just save everybody. Woe unto you means destruction unto you, death unto you, condemnation unto you. All right. The Lord is not, he doesn't love everybody, man. Get that out of your head. That's another thing you need to think about. Jake's coming to the truth. They find out that they're Israel. They want to save everybody. They want everybody to come together. That unity camp spirit, that's a heavy demon, man. If you meditate on the precepts, you should think, okay, wait a minute. The prophecy says the Lord's going to kill 2/3 of these people. The prophecy says our families are going to come up against us. The prophecy says this, that, and the third. If you're meditating on the scriptures, you're not going to be in the spirit of all Israel coming together. That's nowhere in prophecy. The Lord never said he's going to bring all Israel together in Babylon the Great. That's a wicked device in your own mind. And, as the brother was going into, you need to watch your thoughts, because if you have this outward appearance of righteousness, you're going to be judged based on how you're judging other people. All right. The brother read Matthew 7 earlier. When you go up further in that chapter, it tells you that if you're judging someone and you have mold in your own eye, you're going to be met with that same judgment. So you're saying, well, look, this brother doesn't have fringes on. He's going off. Well, there might be a day where you're not wearing fringes. Does that mean you're condemned that day? You got to think about the judgments that you're putting on other people. Are you living up to your own super duper Israelite judgment that you're portraying in front of the camera? Are you living up to that every day? If not, you run the risk of what Yahweh Shai just said, man. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. So if you can go back to that Matthew 12, because there was another other point there.
You want to reread 35?
Baruch Shah.
This is Matthew 12 and 35. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
And they have this saying, it's like thousands of years old. They're not really sure where it comes from, but they say, watch your thoughts, for your thoughts become actions. Watch your actions, because your actions become habits. Watch your habits, because your habits become your character. So ultimately, it all starts with your thoughts, and then it gradually manifests into who you are. And it brings out your character. Your character is a manifestation of your daily thoughts that lead to actions and then habits. And that's just who you are. And you could say, well, look, that's just, I slipped up, a just man falls 7 times, but he get back up. At the end of the day, a just man does fall and he does get back up, but that comes with a process of repentance. You can't fall the same exact way at the same time and just be okay with that. Well, look, I'll get it right in the kingdom. You're just okay with whatever demon you have. You're okay with whatever flaw you have. We're in this ministry so we can work on particular things, not make excuses for whatever's wrong with us. So if something has been brought to your attention by the body, like the precept that you brought out, Kaya, it mentioned taking heed to what wise men are saying. That's part of why we have this body. So if a brother brings something to your attention, you need to change your thoughts. You don't just snap your finger and change your actions. It starts with you changing your thought process. Why did this happen in the first place? Well, what am I thinking about day to day? What am I doing, between work and, we all have, so-called off time. We all have so-called hobbies, but what are you feeding your body? What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your spirit? You got it, right?
Hey, if I could,
I had a
just
precept.
You mind if I just reread one verse? In the Matthew 23, it says exactly what you said. You got to examine your thoughts and clean the inward part first, and then the outward part will follow. But if you leave that inward part dirty and diseased, it's going to come and show in your outward appearance. Matthew 23 and 26. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also.
That's right. That's why you gotta keep your you say keep thy garments always white and let thy head lack no error. That don't mean keep your garment on the outside that you wearing clean. Because what if a man have on a yet, his garment is wrinkled, and it's not, it ain't really clean. He didn't wash it. Do that make him wicked? No. All right. Like, so that don't mean that, man. All right. The garment, the keeping of this garment is to keep this word, man. All right. Lack no error. This is Sirach 37:13. And let the counsel of thine own heart stand. Because at the end of the day, your actions got to catch up with your heart, man. It can't be the other way around. Your heart can't be chasing your actions, man. That means you're doing before you thinking. All right. What's the concept you just used just now? That your actions got to go to your you said it in a little sequence.
Oh yeah. You have to watch your thoughts, because your thoughts become words, your words become actions, your actions become habits, and your habits become your character.
Yeah, Jake liked the work south back to north.
Okay.
All right, in reverse. This is what made me bring this out. It says, let the counsel of thine own heart stand. It didn't say your action. It's saying counseling in your heart. All right, because get it right where it say a heart that's settled on a plaster is in Sirach. A heart that's settled. I kind of forget the words. It's in Sirach, I believe. A heart that's settled. It goes something like that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is Sirach 22 and 17. Actually, I'm gonna start at 16. I'm gonna start at 15. Sirach 22 and 15. Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding.
Come on, see?
Yeah.
You see, because wait, don't skip that. That's heavy. I know the point is, is a man heart settled is like a plaster of something on the wall. I kind of forget it, kind of skip me. But it says, read that again. My bad, bro.
Sirach 22 and 15. It says, sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding.
Which is real heavy. All right. That's why I said, let not thy thoughts be heavy unto thee, afflicting yourself in your own counsel, man. So he compares some things that are heavy, all right, compared to what? Like having that burden or having your mind compressed down, man. All right. And then without to not have understanding, that's laborious to kind of move mass salt and heaviness, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me read verse 14. It says, what is heavier than lead? What is heavier than lead? And what is the name thereof but a fool? Question mark.
Yeah. What is the name thereof but a fool? Go ahead. That's plain.
Yeah. As timber girt and bound together in a building cannot be loosed with shaking, so the heart that is established by advised counsel shall fear it no time.
That's it. All right. You ain't meaning what? You ain't gonna veer. You're not gonna veer off because, like you say, you may be getting rebuked. All right. This may be a crucial thought you need to make. And just like we was talking, Ryan, if you can recall, and the elder, I believe it's the elder. I can't remember. All you brothers. Our decisions are already made through the Spirit. We just got to be willing to go forth and take them. That's it. Think about that. It's like if we serving the Lord and we in this truth, it's like we really don't have to make decisions. It's like if we roll according to the scriptures, those is the decisions. We just got to step up and take them. You want to say something?
Yeah,
right?
Just the scriptures and the understanding we have through the Holy Spirit is the blueprint. We just got
that's the decision. Yeah.
All we got to do is follow the blueprint and we're good.
Right. Why Jay I gotta think about, if does this have this and this? Like we already know the blueprint. Like this is it. Like don't boggle your mind down, man. All right, but go ahead, keep going. Oh, they got more.
Come on. Hey, Ryan, if you can get Proverbs 19 and 21 to back up the brother. It says, verse 17, a heart settled upon a thought of understanding is as a fair plastering on the wall of a gallery.
A made up mind. And art that's on a wall and it's beautiful, it's set there. It's set in stone, in other words. It's set in stone. It's just like when you come past that art, it's just a beautiful mind. What it is a saying about a beautiful mind. I like one of those old philosophers had made the quote or something like that. It's something like nothing is more something than a beautiful mind, or like a set established mind. But don't worry about that. That's just one of those old sayings. But this is Sirach 37 and 13. Let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there's no man more faithful unto thee than it. And the faithfulness come in a way like Raya said in the scriptures. We already got something to be faithful to. All we got to do is choose the faithfulness every time, what we have committed to. All right? That's why the Lord said, commit thy thoughts in Proverbs 16:3. Commit thy ways unto the Lord, and the Lord will commit thy heart, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I'm kind of paraphrasing it out. Salaki, bro. It's Proverbs 16:3 though. It says, for a man mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower. You see? So a man mind want to be all over the place. He want to think this and want to this, because every man think there's a better way in his own mind to do something. But sometimes it's just the way to do it is the way to do it. All right? Because that's how a man reason within his own mind. That's why every man have a different mind, because he reason and get to the point of his reasoning a different way from you. So you can't get mad if a man didn't think like you, because he don't have the same brain you have. All right, so, but according to the scriptures, we should be thinking in the same way. We should be all what we have committed to memory. We should all be on the same accord and one mind. Going to 2 Corinthians 1, 1 Corinthians 1:10. All right, we should all be on the same mind. All right, meaning what? We have the mind of the things in the scriptures to do so. You got something on? I'm aware.
Yeah, right. You got that Proverbs 19 real quick?
Khan. You mind if I make a point real quick?
Khan.
You got it.
Hey, just to back what you were saying, Kaya, about us all being on the same mind. It's like again with the blueprint analogy. Say we had the blueprint to build a building, but this guy wants to measure the beams for the building this way. Another guy wants to do the door frame. The building's gonna look like something from Dr. Seuss and fall apart.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
because
that.
As it says in Jeremiah 17 verse 9, the heart or mind is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Again, we have the scriptures as our blueprint that gives us our answers for everything. If we simply have any doubts on anything or questions, we go to the scriptures first and only and have our answers. When you try to lean on your own understanding, that's when things get messy and you end up in a bad case.
Yeah, but you gotta commit your thoughts. You gotta commit your thoughts to the Lord, and He gonna establish your heart, man. You got it.
This is Proverbs.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. This is Proverbs 19:21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahweh, that shall stand.
Right. Just to back up the brother, like ultimately the blueprint has already been established. Our path has already been established. You just have to have faith in it. There are many devices in a man's mind, but ultimately what the Lord wants you to do is what you're going to end up doing. You just have to have faith that when a situation arises, okay, this is the judgment. This is what it is. I'm gonna just walk this way. Just like our forefather Abraham, it was written for him to sacrifice Isaac. He didn't bicker. He didn't argue. He didn't, try to do his own thing. He was just with it. And the Lord, delivered Isaac. He had to be sacrificed later, but that's a whole nother topic. The point is he moved with faith because he knew what the judgment was, and he knew that it was of the Spirit ultimately. That's how you have to be in this truth. You can't, just linger on your own thoughts. It tells you in Sirach that, you can't just meditate on your own opinions. That'll bring heaviness to you. You got to think godly thoughts, man. You got to, if you didn't have anything, you can go to Proverbs. Actually, let's get Psalms 119 and 15 real quick, because it's going to go with that. You got to get that Proverbs 16:3. You've been quoting it, but it's got to come out like it's going to go with that Psalms.
Psalms 119 and what?
Psalms 119 and 15.
And I got the Proverbs when you're ready.
Come.
There's Psalms 119 and 15. It says, I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways.
Keep going.
I would delight myself in thy statutes. I would not forget thy word.
Right. So the scripture says, I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. You have to meditate on the scriptures. Meditate on the law, statutes, and commandments. And when that happens, you're not going to be tossed to and fro. The more you meditate on the precepts, the more you want the kingdom of heaven. Because when you look at the prophecy, it tells you, number one, the kingdom of heaven is going to involve the new covenant, which means the commandments are going to be placed in our inward parts. Number two, we're going to rule according to the commandments. So the kingdom is going to be based in total righteousness. And if you're meditating on that, everything about this current world is going to be completely off. You're going to hasten the day. All right. You could tell that Jake wants to stay in the world because he's not meditating on the precepts. Like if someone is diligent in the scriptures, you're going to want the kingdom of heaven. So when you see Jake talking about let's circulate the black dollar, let's build a black family, let's, Jake is in that what's that word? That prepper spirit. You're trying to buy 100,000 cans of Vienna sausage. You're trying to store up this and store up that. You're trying to stay here. Why? Because you're not meditating on the precepts. We were just talking before the lesson came on about how everything's fake. All of the food is fake. Why would you want to stay in a kingdom where you have to buy organic food that isn't even organic? Like that's clearly you're not meditating on the scriptures. Clearly you're not meditating on the prophecies. The Most High promised us a kingdom where we have just total dominion over the plants, the heathen. Everything we eat is going to be righteous. Our family is going to be completely in order. If you're meditating on that, there's no way you want to stay here another second, another day. It's plain. It becomes made manifest. Okay, this guy, he's fucking off. When he's not at camp, he's clearly in the world. Clearly, it's obvious. You could just see it on Jake. Jake is, you look over to a brother, a so-called brother, you see he's really thinking about, forwarding himself in Babylon the Great. He's not thinking about the kingdom, man. Why? Because he's not thinking about what he's thinking about. You got it up.
Hey,
You got it. You're right.
Hey, if a man's inward parts of the world, then he's gonna look like the world on the outside. He's gonna start manifesting the fashions and the ways and the lingo of the world on the outside. But if a man's meditating on the precepts in the kingdom, hey, it's gonna be the same way on the outside, and you don't have to have any doubts about this brother, because you can see he's got that spirit of hastening, wanting this place to end. But if he's got that spirit of that world on him, you just see him going back and going into the fashions of the world and getting sloppy and all that negative stuff that comes with it. It becomes self-evident where your heart or your mind lies.
Yeah, and it's obvious to us. It's obvious to us, and we're men. So how much more the Lord? You can't hide to us. How you think you're getting over on the Most High, man? You come into camp lined up. You in camp thinking about your woman. You stalking her. You got all kind of just all sorts of madness going on. You're physically at camp, but you're spiritually you're in the world. We can see that, and we're men. So how much more Yahweh? Why Yahweh shy, man? You got it out.
Yeah, that means Jake is not giving thought to his thought, man. Yeah. And that's a heavy saying. We kind of always said down here, and the spirit just got on that brother to bring it out through a lesson, because the reality in that, man, is a man have to be thinking about what he thinking about, because your heart got to be settled and stayed upon wisdom, man. And we know what wisdom it is. It's like the minute we go off and start thinking about finances and how to do this and that, you're not going off, but you treading that water, man. All right, because the Lord said, blessed is he whose mind is stayed upon me. Like, the more we can think about the Lord, the better we position ourselves, all right, for that to carry out righteousness, man, through our works, through our actions, our talks, And listen, there's not one man that's going to look like a man of the Lord every day or every second you see him. Let's not be over righteous here, all right? Because technically, we don't kind of look like we the men to the world. You know what I mean, in a sense, right? The men of the Lord never really look like the men of the Lord to the people, man. They'll call them Christians, blacks, followers, or whatever, man. All right, but the whole point is, it ain't about the looks, man. It's about what a man has stored in him. This Proverbs 17:24. Wisdom is before him that had understanding. Something that come before you or over you, that's a principal thing. All right, it's the foundation of something. All right, wisdom is before him that had understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. Meaning his mind is always trying to, make it. Jake just trying to make it out here, man. All right, we already lost. All right, like that. We lost already. All right, even if you get a job where they paying you a couple of more dollars than they paying everybody else. All right, you making 19 and everybody else getting 14 or 15. All right, and what? All right, you haven't made it. You still gonna stay where you stay. You're gonna still drive the same car you drive. All right, all you're gonna do is be able to go out to eat 1 or 2 more times extra, man. What are we doing here?
You can't tell Jake that though, right?
Yeah, you can't tell Jake that because Jake believes in his mind. His mind is telling him something, all right, that is that his mind ain't really telling him, man.
His mind is telling him, you that nigga. You that nigga. Like that's what Jake is thinking. Like, as long as I'm making $2 more than this nigga, then I'm that nigga. Like that's
I'm him.
Yeah, I'm him. That's
and what's
him.
that ultimate?
You got it.
What's that ultimately saying? You're that nigga in the world.
Yeah,
that's it. And they got many more people in the world making more than you. Like, let's just stop it. You don't even live around them. You don't even see them. It's billions of people making more than you. Yeah. So you can't make $2 more than somebody and think you made it. Like, what are we doing here? All right? Like, your mind have to catch up with your mind, man. You see? It says, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. Your mind is outrunning your own mind, man. You outthinking your own self. All right? And by the time you catch up to that thought, guess what? A mistake done happened. Or you looking foolish, all right? Or you didn't did something trifling from a mental aspect, and now it's just showing what? Through the physical. You got it, bro.
Let me get this from the comment board. This is the brother Kayal. This is Matthew 6, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's right on time, because if your treasure is in the kingdom of heaven, if your treasure is in the brotherhood, if your treasure is in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that's where your mind's going to be. So if you can't be a brother, that means you don't treasure brotherhood. You don't treasure the kingdom. Because I say this all the time, the kingdom of heaven is a brotherhood. That's ultimately what it is. It's Yahweh Shai's kingdom, but he's sharing it with his brothers, his brethren, his kinsmen according to the flesh. We're joint heirs. So if you can't be a brother in Babylon, ultimately you don't want the kingdom. Okay, you can't. If you can't be around brothers now, why would you want to be around brothers when that's really going to be the top so-called pastime in the kingdom is fellowshipping. We're going to link up. We're going to judge the heathen together. All right, we're going to marry our daughters unto our sons. A patriarchy is a brotherhood that's tightly knit. So if that doesn't appeal to you, what kind of kingdom are you like? You looking forward to the kingdom of heaven where you could just sit on an island somewhere on a throne and you just that dude, but you don't ever talk to anybody. You don't ever like that. That's weird. Like, do you not know that we're going to judge we're going to rule the world, man? That's a government. A government is a group of kings and priests that are tightly knit, that communicate with one another. That's just one example. So if you have a problem communicating, you have a problem with the kingdom of heaven. It is what it is.
Hey, your favorite one, it says, how much more, man? Like, if we brothers in poverty, how much more in riches?
Yeah.
We was brothers against the enemy. We got on a front line and went back to back, went to war and fought. Because this is a whole different type of fight or war. So that means we got a whole different mind strength. Our mind is in a whole different aspect of strategicness. The way we are approaching being strategic towards righteousness is a whole nother walk. So if I walk with my brothers and walk, all right, and we came together with a plan, a righteous plan according to the scriptures, to devise the righteous plan in the schematics, which is the scriptures and the words of the holy scriptures, then how much more when we don't gotta how much more when we in riches now, all right, with this same mind? Come on, we gonna turn up. That's a turning up, man. You got it.
Yeah, Jake flat broke. We'll go get some liquor, share with the brothers.
For
How
real?
much more are we rich? Like,
for real.
Everybody's
gonna have it.
Yeah, we're gonna have our own vineyard. We're gonna have our own, bro. It's gonna be completely out of this world. So you don't want to hook up with brothers now. What you gonna be doing in the kingdom?
Yeah, Jay,
you're just gonna be sitting by yourself.
That's like, crazy, bro.
Come on, man.
You're gonna be letting You're gonna be like these elites and these rich men that let their gold get cankered in a warehouse somewhere, just sitting on it.
Just tons of gold just sitting in a vault somewhere.
That's what's happening,
man.
Yeah, that's what's happening. We gonna be using ours. You ain't gonna get no. It's gonna be getting used in whatever way. You have something, you have it to use it. The Lord gave us the earth for uses. All right, to use everything in it. It ain't. It's like the Lord ain't create something and it just it's nothing. Like everything has its uses. All right.
Yeah, these Edomites just take tons of gold and they just sit it just to artificially raise the price to make everyone else poor. That they can't feel like there's somebody unless 99% of the world is in poverty. Jake doesn't have that spirit, man. Jake is like, look, I'm gonna put on my boys. I'm gonna buy my mom a house. I'm gonna get this. Jake is all about he likes to wear his money, drive his money, put his money on his woman. That's the spirit of Israel, man. So when we're in power, it's gonna be, hey, man. But right now, of course, we have this ministry, and on a spiritual level, are you sharing your gift with the body? On a spiritual level, are you thinking about what you're thinking about? Are you thinking about righteousness, brotherhood? Are you thinking about prophecy? Are you thinking about teaching? You got Jakes to just be on the comment board for 5 years talking about Shalom. Like, bro, what are you doing?
I got your precept.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Rock 2:14. You got it, right? One of y'all must break down. It says the wise man's eyes are in his head. I'm gonna read to 16 because this cover everything you just practically said. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walking in darkness. And I myself perceived also that one event happened to them all. Then said I in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened even to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart, that is also vanity. Here we go. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever. Seeing that which now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten. And how died the wise man as the fool?
Yeah, that's perfect. Because if your mind is in the world, trying to be somebody in this world, trying to get as many degrees as possible, get as much status as possible, the end goal, your end fate is going to be the same as a fool on this side. But when you set your heart to the scriptures and you meditate on the prophecies and you become more of a brother and you're of the hopeful elect, you have an opportunity to receive status in the kingdom of heaven. That whole book, goes into how vain it is to try to be somebody here, to build things here. Think about this. This was written in a time when Israel was on top.
Yeah.
King Solomon was the richest man to ever live. He had a kingdom. He had all his enemies in subjection. And he said, look, all of this is vanity. Why? Because he knew it was temporary. We're right on the cusp of an immortal kingdom that's going to be everlasting. And you don't want to fight for that? All of our works here are going to last forever. It's not going to be like, okay, the Saints, they win the Super Bowl for 1 year and then they're trash. Drew Brees' arm goes out. Like,
you don't remember it.
Yeah.
We don't remember that Super Bowl here. Yeah. We don't remember that. I don't remember that. I mean, that's an end, but that's perfect, because that was an end. It says, seeing that which now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten. See, there's an end to this right here. It's a cutoff to this, what you see. So no matter what comes with that, that's getting cut off. All right. So again, Jake, what are you thinking about? All right. Like, you can't put all your stock into something that's going to collapse eventually. Like, it's like, what are you doing? All right. That's a waste of it. That's a waste of an investment. All right. So again, the wise man's eyes is in his head, meaning what? His mind is on his mind. That music up on righteous things, man. Yeah. The wise man's mind are his eyes, which your eyes is your pineal gland. All right. That's your thinking cap, as Jake like to say, your brain is in his head. In his head is where what? The wisdom dwell. You got it, huh?
Hey, what's it say in the New Testament? The eyes of the window of your soul. If you keep your eyes single, your whole body will be full of light. But if you have that darkness going in, you'll be full of darkness, like the fool who sees in darkness, in the vein of
he walking in darkness.
Yeah.
All right, because and that don't mean the whole earth is dark and he cut off all the lights in his house and he's just walking around, you know, just groping, man. That could Jacob think that mean that, bro.
Yeah.
All right, he walking in a way that's not conducive to the way that he's walking. Meaning what? It's gonna be obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, until eventually he's gonna what? He's gonna give up. All right, because he's gonna be to face so many obstacles, he's not gonna be able to prevail anymore. You got it.
To back up that Proverbs, a fool's eyes are in the ends of the earth. If you're in that darkness and vanity, you're going to be following after every new trend that comes in the earth, and before you know it, you're going to get swept up in the wave and be in a completely opposite place from where you were, because you didn't keep your eyes in your head and keep your eyes open to let that light fill you, to keep your eyes single. You were looking. You weren't looking straight forward on that narrow path. You were looking to the right, to the left in that wide place. Should I go here? Should I go through that door? Should I do a backflip? What if I do this that way? It speaks for itself.
Yeah, right. That ultimately comes from not being rooted, not being grounded in the scriptures, not having enough faith. Jake don't want to pray for faith. Jake's scared to admit that he, lacking faith. Jake coming up with excuses for why he's making faithless decisions, when the answer is simple. You lack faith. All right, it happens. There are men in the Apostle Thomas. He lacked faith. It didn't make him wicked, but the Lord was like, "Look, blessed are they that believe and have not seen." That's ultimately what faith is. So if your faith is low, you have to just pray for more faith. Don't go back in the world, especially now. What are you doing? But you can get Rye, if you can get Proverbs 4, start at 20. The point is in 23.
Okay.
And yeah, Kaya, you got to get that Proverbs 16 and 3.
I'm on it.
Oh, Con. Yeah, you can bring that out real quick.
This Proverbs 16 and 3. It says, "Commit thy works unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua." And your works start in your mind. Let's be frank. All right, you can't start working until your mind tell you to move your hands and feet and shit. Your mind is your starting point. All right. So when you committing your works, that's committing your mind first and foremost. Because first and foremost, you got to believe that this thing is. You got to have faith, like what I'm about to work at and end, all right, is going to ultimately bring me a recompense. All right. It says, "Commit thy works unto Yahweh." That's in all caps, Yahweh, "and thy thoughts shall be established." You got it on one.
Yeah, beautiful point you just made, because what I was going to go into is, like, when you first hear the truth, there's something inside you that's like, man, this is it right here. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life. I got to do this. I got to do that. And when you come to camp, you don't know what you make this point all the time. Like, you say you can't tell the Lord what you're going to do for him. You're his servant. He's going to tell you, okay, I want you to be a greeter. I want you to be a speaker. Like, I had no idea I would be bringing out the word. Like, this is not something any of us have ever done in our life. Yeah, like, you can't guess that. College. Yeah, you don't go to prophet college, and then the prophet scout, he sees you, on the prophet team, and he recruits you to go to. Like, no, man.
That's the position you gonna play. Yeah. Like, no, you don't know. We didn't know. It was a leap of faith. Like, we just trusted that. Okay, whatever this is right. All right, that's just my testimony. I heard and I said, whatever it is right. I told my fam, I was like, I don't know what's right about it. I'll find out later. And that's like down the line, I'll be able to tell you but it was something that went off. Like, it's like, it's kind of unexplainable, but it's explainable because you can understand it. It's not like it's, in Greek, all out the way.
It happened.
Right. Yeah. It happens. Something happened to us all, right? Yeah. A bell went off. I was like, man, whatever this is, it was right. And I had no evidence of it being right. I couldn't point to nothing. It just was a feeling inside of me like, this is right. And I only knew this much. I only had heard like a precept or something like that. And I was like, what? That's in the Bible? All right, if it's in the Bible, it's real. That was it. But you got it. I don't want to make, kind of make it too much about me.
That all goes to the topic, though. It says, "Commit thy works unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and thy thoughts shall be established." Once you commit your works, which is, again, based on faith, the Lord is going to establish your thoughts. Your mind is going to be set aright once you have faith that this is the doctrine and this is what you're supposed to be doing. And it's plain.
Yeah, it say set up. That established means set up and fixed, and it's gonna be secure. All right, you got it.
You got the Proverbs out.
Khan, this is Proverbs 4 verse 20. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Hey, keeping your eyes in your head. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
God, keep thy heart with all diligence, which again, your heart is your mind. So keep your mind with all diligence, meaning what? Think about what you're thinking about. Think about the thoughts that you're allowing to not only enter your mind, but meditate on. You know, because we all have wicked thoughts. We're in this flesh. All right. We're surrounded by, you know, lasciviousness, advertisement, wicked people. All right. The scripture tells you what? Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Lot was surrounded by, he was in Sodom and Gomorrah. You really think Lot went through something that we're not going through? You know, whether you're in New Orleans, Las Vegas, New York, Atlanta, we're surrounded by the most vile, just perverse generation to ever live. This is the worst that humanity's ever been, and we're living here. But the scripture says what? We're in the world, but not of the world. We don't. When we hear Jake just going off completely, we're not enticed by that. Like, yeah, you know, I need to try that too. No, we hear that and we're like, man, the Lord's gonna kill that nigga. If he doesn't repent, the Lord's gonna deal with that dude. You have to think about what you're thinking about. Don't hear something wicked and think, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. I need to try that. You know, certain Jakes.
There's a saying that say, don't do as they say or say as they do. You got it.
Yeah. You have Jakes that they can listen to certain type of music and it doesn't bother them. They just see it as entertainment. You have other Jakes, they listen to it and in the back of their mind, they're like, I know this is wicked, but yeah, I'm with this shit. They really like that nigga energy. Like they know it's wrong, but they still, it entices them. So you have to know, you know, the scripture says, know what's good for your heart and prove yourself. Certain things every Jake don't need to be doing. Certain Jakes can't handle a liquor, you shouldn't drink. Certain Jakes can't be around niggas, you end up being influenced by them. Certain Jakes can, you know. So it's a case by case that you have to watch. You have to think about what you're thinking about. Think about what kind of thoughts you're meditating on throughout the day. Think about, you know, how you're spending your time. How are you delegating? How are you, you know, how much discipline do you have? Because that's what the word disciple goes back to discipline. To have discipline, you have to think about what you're thinking about. You can't just go through life being controlled by your peer pressure, your woman, society. That you're gonna fail horribly. But if you can get Proverbs 24:9, start wrapping it up. I'm gonna get this from Kabar.
You want Ryan to get it? Or you want me to get it?
Ryan can get it. This is Kabar. He's got Psalms 51:10. Create in me a clean heart, O Yahweh, and renew a right spirit within me. That's beautiful. Create in me a clean mind. That's what you have to pray for, man. Pray for a clean mind, because obviously our bodies are defiled. They're going to be defiled till we get delivered out of here and we get those new bodies. But until then, you have to ask the Lord to renewing your mind every day, man. Every day. You got to pray every day. You can't just say, well, look, I'm in the truth. I'm good. I got fringes on all my t-shirts. I'm good. You're not good, Jake. We're not going to be good till we get out of here. You got it?
You want the Proverbs?
Con.
Yeah, I got some.
Con,
you got it.
This is Proverbs 24, verse 9. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men.
Con. Now, it says the thought of foolishness is sin. Now, what is sin? The transgression of the law. Why does it say the thought of foolishness is sin? Because when you meditate on sin, it's going to manifest in your actions. And even if it doesn't, you're still going off. That's why Yahushua said, if you lust a man's wife, you've already committed adultery, because it starts in your mind. You got to think about what you're thinking about. Yahushua was basically saying, look, these are the laws technically, okay, but in the spirit, are you breaking the commandments in your own mind? Do you think it's cool to sin? Do you think being a nigga is what it's about, man? Because a lot of Jake thinks that, man. They have the fringes on. Some of them even go out and teach. You have whole nigga camps. All right, we don't need to say their names, but you have whole camps of just lascivious niggas and fringes. And the Lord's not dealing with that. He's not dealing with outwardly. He could use you a nigga that's teaching the word, he could use you just to wake up a sincere brother.
That's it.
You don't want to be a
job, though.
Yeah. You got it out.
Yeah, but that's scary, man. Because he can have you momentarily believing you really getting busy with this thing, and voila, you just a nigga in the world going to the concert, all right, working out record deals, whatever, man. This Sirach 18-27. A wise man with fear in everything, and in the day of sinning he will beware of offense, but a fool will not observe the time.
Hey,
you got it.
Hey, could you reread it again,
Gone. It's Sirach 18-27. A wise man with fear in everything, and in the day of sinning he will beware of offense, but a fool will not observe the time. So
your eyes are in your head, and you're keeping your eyes single. You're keeping your inward parts clean and focused on Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in the spirit. So before a situation comes up, you're already looking at everything like you brothers like to play chess. You're looking a couple of moves ahead to make the right move and not go off and sin. But as it says, a fool does not observe the time. You're just gonna bumble. You're just gonna bumble and trip into it and get in a bad situation because you're letting that carnal, lascivious, lustful, worldly spirit in you guide your members.
That's right. When you become offensive, you get tunnel vision. If any man knows something about football, what is the main objective of the offense? To score. What's the main objective of the defense? To deflect them from scoring, to stop them from scoring. So a man mind always on a wicked man mind is always on an offense. All right, he's always trying to get and grab and have. All right, but he never counter his offensive thoughts by deflecting them defensively. He have no nothing to reflect his thoughts, because that's what wisdom is there for. Wisdom is a defense. All right, it means what? It defends your offensive thoughts, man. When you get offensive, you get forward and perverse in your ways, man. All right, because again, you get tunnel vision, and you like, I just gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta get the word, and then you're just going, and your mind never told you, like, wait, hold a minute, like you done stepped over boundaries, you done probably sinned, and then be like, oh shit, I did that. You know why? Because you're not catching, you're not retracting the thoughts that's coming before. You're allowing thoughts to flow and go, man. But you gotta know when to comb the course, man. All right, you gotta know when to hold them. Like wisdom give you that. Wisdom will give you, because when Yahweh Shai supping with you, he's gonna give you a balance. When Yahweh Shai, when wisdom not supping with you, you're gonna be one fucking way. That's why you either evil or you what? You righteous, man. All right, that's it. Real quick one. Last one for me. It says, Sirach 27-12. If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time. And a lot of men, fools are fools are who fools are always around, right?
The fools.
Fools. Yeah. So that means they're not observing what's going on. All right. It says, when you be among the indiscreet, observe the time. So this is a man with wisdom. You're among the indiscreet. You got to start thinking about what you're thinking about. Like, all right, would it be the easiest way to let them down easy? Because, some Jake's aggressive. You'll get around them and they ain't seen you in so long. They just like, oh, they ain't stay around, and you got to hit Jake with some shit, man. I got to get the children from school, the children in the hospital. You're going to have to do something. All right. But hey, you utilize wisdom. All right. Utilize wisdom. It says, but be continually among men with understanding. So when you round the indiscreet, it says get from around them. But it says be continually with men of understanding. You got it.
Yeah. You made a beautiful point how wisdom is a defense in your mind. And, one of the things we brought out earlier is how when you meditate on the precepts and you meditate on the kingdom, it's a defense against this world, because everything this world has to offer you is defiled, but there's a righteous version of that that's promised to you. And if you meditate on that, you can't be, I won't say you can't be persuaded, but you won't be taken out of the truth. Because if for example, you're going to have hundreds of virgins, you're not going to be like just some random slut in Babylon is not gonna. You already know that's coming to you. If you know you're gonna have millions of dollars, billions of dollars in the kingdom,
trillions,
trillions, yeah. Why would you sell out for 100 racks? Like knowing that you have all these things promised to you in righteousness and meditating on that makes it very difficult for somebody to persuade you with a corruptible crown, man. Esau, he doesn't have anything to offer you that the Most High hasn't already promised you tenfold, 100-fold. But you have to believe in that. You have to meditate on that. You have to think about what you're thinking about. If not, it's easy to take somebody out the truth with a distraction if you're not meditating on what you have coming to you, because what you have coming is so much better than what you could be distracted by. It's not, there's no comparison. But just to back up what you said, yeah, this Wisdom of Solomon 6, and I'll start at 15. It says, to think thereupon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care, meaning you're not going to be tossed to and fro. You're not going to be heavy about the burdens of this life. Verse 16, for she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorable unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought.
That's it.
Yeah. Ooh. So wisdom is going to meet you in every thought, man. If you think about what you're thinking about, wisdom is going to be there in every thought. You got it up.
And that's why we kingdom minded. Because in 20 it says, therefore the desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom.
Yeah.
You see what wisdom do? You see why the wise man is always in his head? Man, why y'all always talking about them same precepts? Y'all always talking about the Bible. Because this is the kingdom. Yeah. All right? It starts within us. All right? But we have to gravitate it from out the scriptures. All right? Yeah, the kingdom is within, but what we have to put within? The wisdom. All right? There's no kingdom inside of man. If the kingdom is within us, it's within every man that's walking there. That's barely what you're saying. Like, nah, you got to weigh that right, man. We got to get the words of wisdom and put it inside of us. And then we got to think upon it. We got to utilize it. We got to use it. All right. We got to perfect it. All right. So it's a lot of attributes of even retaining wisdom, man. All right. We got to bind them upon our fingers and hearts. We got to keep them. We got to remember them. All right. We don't got time to remember our fringes at the bottom. Like they remember their own self, man.
Yeah. All
right. This is fashion, man. We talking about a kingdom. All right. This at the end of the day, man. All right. This what are we doing, man? What you thinking about? Oh, I don't even watch them, man. I don't listen to them, nothing, bro. There's just nothing. But you guys need to hear no doubt, you know. But it says, therefore the desire of wisdom bring it to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and sceptres, to delight is the what? Like it says, to think upon. All right? A man mind and his desires is delighted towards that which is profitable to him. And what's profitable to you, you're going to go after it in the world. So any one of you Jakes, including myself, whatever we're going after in the world, that's what's profitable to us, man. Let's be real. It says, if your delight be then in thrones and sceptres, rulership, might I add. That's what thrones and sceptres is. O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forever. In order to be a king in the kingdom of heaven, all right, we had to be an honored wisdom. You got it, bro. That's plain.
Yeah, kings think about what they're thinking about, right?
Yeah,
kings have a lot to. There's a whole dominion that you're responsible over. It's not just, you know, you getting head on a throne all day. That's what Jake thinks of when he uses the word king. Peace, king. What up, king? You're talking about somebody that's got a bunch of jewelry that's just laid in the back of a luxury car getting topped off. It's way deeper than that. You're responsible for thousands of people. You're responsible for people that are under you, that are responsible for people underneath them, that are managing economies, families. Decisions that you make are going to have an impact for thousands of years to come. So if once you understand we're a nation of kings and priests and you still on some black community, man, forget about that, man. Think about what you're thinking about.
You're a chump.
Yeah.
Chump.
Yeah.
That's right. You're a peasant.
Yeah.
It's peasant thoughts and it's kingdom thoughts, man. That's it. That's the difference. But yeah, that's it. I ain't got nothing else. Y'all got it.
Yeah. Good. So Abaratazah, that was edifying to the elect. And with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakach Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.